us today, as I previously mentioned, a teacher, Yoan Barrio, who spent time in the Arctic. And I'm going to pass it over to Yoan and let him tell you a little bit about his story.
Hi, bonjour, udlakut. My name is Yoan Barrio, and I just need to mention I'm a Francophone, so my first language is French, so I hope my English is not too bad today. Just so you know, though, I have over 20 years of experience in teaching, and right now I'm teaching in Airdrie in a Francophone school since a couple of years. But previously to that, from 2004 to 2016, I was teaching, as Madeleine mentioned, in l'École des Trois Soleils, so the Three Suns School, or Sepenekkelin Niarvik in Iqaluit, Nunavut, so the capital of Nunavut. And so I learned a lot about Inuit culture. I also worked 3 years in an Atikamekw Indian community in Quebec in 2001 to 2003. So I'm aware too of this culture. So this is my pleasure to be with you today, guys, and answer all the questions that you may have regarding my knowledge, and I can share what I know about the Inuit culture.
Merci, Yoan. I'm going to mention that in the videos today, we see Guta Desmarais, and she is an Inuk. Yeah. And Guta was unavailable to join us today and be part of the panel, but she sends everyone her best wishes, and she's thrilled that she was able to create those videos for our learning opportunities.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Jason, I'm just going to give you a chance to say hello and welcome you as one of our knowledge keepers and our key point person this week for Orange Shirt Day.
Kinanaskuntin Madeline. Tanchaka kyo wapastem tsikasun pneumonia of sikasut Jason Big Charles East Prairie of Chania. So my name is Whitehorse. My colonized name is Jason Big Charles, and I live on the East Prairie Métis settlement in northern Alberta, and I am a consultant with the RPDC to support where I can with First Nation, Métis, and Inuit knowledge and subject matter. So I'm here just to support today and bring in my background is mainly in Cree culture and Cree ways of knowing and being. But with that knowledge, of course, as Indigenous people of Canada, we are all connected very much in many ways. Our worldview is very much the same. Our practices are very similar. So I'm here to bring in some of that knowledge wherever I can. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Jason. On behalf of the Alberta Regional Professional Development Consortium, I would like to extend our deepest appreciation and respect to our Elder Advisory Circle, who helped guide this project and bring it to fruition. Thank you to Elders Tina Fox, Betty Letendre, and Eulalia Running Rabbit. Your dedication to education is a tremendous act of reconciliation. We can only hope to bring as much awareness and truth as possible to this day. I would also like to thank our friend and colleague, Donna Ross, for her huge contribution to this project and for her words on this significant day. Orange Shirt Day and the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation is a day that remembers the thousands of Indigenous children who attended residential schools and the children who did not make it home. As part of the learning of the impact of residential schools, Orange Shirt Day and Beyond guides an approach to share the true history with educators, students, and school communities. It is a time of remembrance and reflection about the impact it continues to have on many Indigenous people. Our Orange Shirt Day and Beyond resources honor, respect, and foster ways to learn about the legacies of residential schools, but also commemorate Indigenous ways of knowing, doing, relating, and being by promoting positive stories of hope and resiliency. The guidance of our Elder Advisory Circle has prompted a decolonization framework to share a deepening perspective as their own personal stories of painful memories were shared. In turn, they recommend ways in which we should teach about these important discussions about residential schools and beyond. All of the activities this week aim to bring out the positive and the celebration, and how through music, dance, sport, by participating, by supporting, it's a movement towards true reconciliation. Well, as I mentioned today, we met with Guta de Marais earlier, probably in late August, early September in Edmonton, and we prepared the following video recordings. Joanne, I don't know if there's something you'd like to state before we watch this first recording.
No, I think it's interesting. She will teach you how the syllabic alphabet is working for Inuit people, and I think that's really interesting to learn and to see the difference with the alphabet that we are using in Canada instead of the Inuktitut.
Thank you. So on that note, Alexandra, we can share Guta's story.
Unusakut ullo katserneakkasi ullumi ilinniartuapi amma ilinniatitsisikului quyanami uvanniqai quyikurugatsi ilikumaritukkurugatsi uvanniqqusalitsiarpunga uvanga Guta de Marais nguzunga uvanga isikisimo nguzunga isikisimo nunavummiutchasausunga kisiani akunialu tamani miutaulertunga short park miutauzunga Nakomi Khaihuzigachi Ilichini Ilichichigaswaniakugu Uvatini Isikisimaukuni. Good afternoon, everyone. So nice to see all of you. Thank you so much for inviting me to your event. My name is Guta de Marais, and I'm a proud, in my language, Isikisimo. Isikisimo in English is Eskimo. Eskimo means people from the Arctic who eat raw meat. I'm truly blessed to have this beautiful food given to me by Mother Earth. I'm not ashamed of it. You might hear in the community that Eskimo is a bad word, but to me, to my parents, to my grandparents, it's a very good word. In this room we're in, every single one of us in this room, we are all Inuit, because Inuit means people. But I am more than people from the Arctic, I am Isikisimo. When you meet somebody from the Arctic, you might want to have a quick conversation with them and ask them, do you prefer to be called Eskimo, like your friend Guta, or do you prefer to be called Inuk? Inuk is one person. Inuit is many people. So you might want to have that quick conversation so there's no confusion. But to me, to my parents, to my grandparents, we are proud Isikisimo. Thank you so much for wanting us to be a part of your event. It's very good that we are acknowledging Orange Shirt Day or Truth and Reconciliation Day, so we can start to begin to heal and acknowledge all the wrong that was done for our people. And I really appreciate all of you for wanting to acknowledge this day, because without acknowledging all the wrong that was done to us, we cannot begin to heal. So I'm super excited that you are my allies for this event, and that our cultures and traditions are very strong to this day, even though a lot of work was done to lose our cultures and traditions. But today we are still very strong. We still speak our language. We still use the land. We still hunt, and we still throat sing and do community gatherings, and we are starting to heal. Thank you for including all of us here today. Dennis Allen was here. He's from Inuvialuit region, which is in the Western Arctic, and Milikai is from Central Arctic, from Cambridge Bay, and I grew up in two communities in Nunavut, a little community called Iperju, which is on the north shore of Baffin Islands, also known as Arctic Bay, and I also grew up in a little community called Kingite, which is on the south shore of Baffin Islands. And Dennis Allen has sang his original song, which is very beautiful, and Malachi still practicing his drum dancing, which he started learning when he was 10 years old.
Take me to the river, mama, cleanse my troubled soul. The jailer man is coming and I must go. Ask the Lord to forgive me for all that I've done. And please pray for mercy on your wayward son. Since I was a young boy, I've been troubled by the law, never heeding what you said, always going on my own call. But now you see the page is turned and the time has come for God to carry home your wayward son. Well, I'm sorry, Mama, for all the nights you laid awake and cried, all the times you worried so. For that I apologize. And if somehow the past could some way be undone, never would I be your wayward son. Never meant to promise, but it's something people do. Sorry if my promises never did come true. But close your eyes and rest now, for the time has come for God to carry home your wayward son. Well, I'm sorry, Mama, for all the nights you laid awake and cried, all the times you worried so. For that I apologize. And if somehow the past could some way be undone, never would I be your wayward son. Never would I be your wayward son. Suminam nai Suminam nai Suminam nai Suminam nai Suminam na layang nikpi numik tuni mai Suminam na Suminam na Suminam na layang ikpi bisuk duni imai Suminam na Suminam na
When we hunt in Nunavut, anything I catch out in the land is to be shared with anybody who wants to have some. I'm not to keep the riches to myself. Instead, I am to spread my wealth. And that's not only in foods, but anything I have. If you wanted to borrow my beautiful amauti, my baby carrier, I'm not using it, you're more than welcome to borrow it. If you needed my kamituinas, and I'm not using them, I will loan them to you. Everything I have is not just for me to use. Instead, I am to spread my wealth. So when we hunt in the Arctic, anything I catch on the land is to be shared with anybody who needs or wants some. Today, we had our lunch here at the park, me and Dennis. And today I brought some narwhal, which is our traditional bubble gum. You could chew it for a month if you wanted, but I only chew it for a couple seconds and I swallow it. When you put narwhal in your mouth, it's gonna be very, very chewy. And that's why we call it our traditional bubble gum. Today, I also brought some nice Arctic char, which I caught fishing. I was in Ipperdu in July for a month, and we went ice fishing. Yes, there's still ice in Ipperdu in July. And that's Arctic char that I brought here today. I would love to come to your school one day, and part of my presentation is I always end my presentations with sharing of traditional food to teach everybody about spreading of wealth and not to keep the riches to yourself. Maybe you have a toy box full of toys you don't play with anymore. Maybe you would like to donate them to a women's shelter or other places where they would accept used toys. Or maybe you have a closet full of clothes that you don't wear anymore. Maybe you want to drop it off at the youth emergency shelter or a women's center. Those are some ways you could spread your wealth. Maybe there are a lot of people in Alberta that have that are struggling. Maybe you would like to make a small donation to the food bank. That would be following my ancestors' way. Can you imagine what our world might look like if we all just spread our wealth? I encourage you to do it because when I do it, I feel so good, and we need to share our things. All right, now I want to share with you all about my language. Our Inuktitut language, just in Canada alone, we have 58 different dialects of Inuktitut. I'm from the North Shore of Baffin Islands, and let's say I'm talking to somebody from the South Shore of Baffin Islands. We're speaking in Inuktitut. We can't understand each other. That's how different the dialects are. For example, to say thank you in North Baffin, you would say huzannami. Huzannami in North Baffin is thank you. To say thank you in the South Baffin, it is nakomi. Nakomi, South Baffin. Central Arctic, you would say hoana. Hoana. And what do Nunat say? Oh, Mi'kmaq. Nunatsiavut, Northern Labrador, when they say thank you, they say Mi'kmaq. Mi'kmaq. You see, we are all saying thank you,